Now we're going to build our BIM model, a really very simplified structure, so we could have it available to us to compare our energy loss calculations that we do on the spreadsheet for what Revit or any BIM software might do during its analyzing function. And as you'll notice here, I wanted to go to the Analyze tab and show you that there's this place for it to calculate heating and cooling loads. And what will happen is a window will open up, tell you what your use of the building is, where it is, the type of construction, and then with these values and details, you can then calculate the performance or the energy performance and get that report. I'm going to just cancel out of this just to show you that load report. I'll go to one of them. The load report that comes out talks about peak cooling and heating loads, and then it divides off the summary of spaces, and then we get these values for energy consumption, and we can compare that to what our model does. So I'm going to start a new one. I'm going to go ahead and close this one off. And we'll open up a new architectural document. And I'm going to go through this a little bit slowly because there are some people who are just new to Revit that are in the class. And we're going to grab, well, first of all, we'll go to the south elevation. I'm going to double click on the south elevation. And we've already got our level 2 set up for 10 feet. If not, you'd want to change that by just clicking on it and inputting it. So that gives us our 10-foot ceiling height. I'm going to go back to level 1. And I'm just going to quickly and simply create a 20-foot by 20-foot building. So I'm going to grab the architectural. We're going to get a basic generic 8-inch wall. And we don't really care right now because we're going to change that once we build it. So I'm just going to go and make it 20 feet by 20 feet by 20 feet, and then just close that off. And we'll look at that from a 3D view. I'll go to View and 3D. Looks really tall. It's because I'm going to select all of this. I didn't pay attention to the top constraint is unconnected, and we want to connect it to level 2. And there we have the right proportions. So now we need a floor and a ceiling. So I'm going to go to Roof, Roof by Footprint, and we want it on level 2. And I want to make sure that we turn off the defined slope so we don't have that extra hassle of having to get rid of roof pitches. And I'll zoom in here, and I'm using the Pick Wall tool, and we're selecting a wall, or excuse me, the wall edges for the roof that we're going to construct. And we need a floor system, so I'll grab floor, and we want that on level 1, and we'll use the Pick Walls tool again. It won't let me grab back there, so I'll just go ahead and rotate it. And that really completes our box here. So now all we need to do is actually insert a window. And I'll just grab the fixed window that comes up because we're going to go ahead and modify that. And we'll go ahead and place this. And I'm just going to slide it over so it's sitting in the center of the window or the wall. And let's do our first thing. Let's go ahead and modify this window. We'll go to Edit Type, we'll duplicate it, and we'll call it M2 window. All right, first thing we want to do is change its, well, let's move the sill height down because we're going to make an 8-foot window. So I'm going to move it down to 1 foot. We're going to make it 12 feet wide and 6 feet high. And the other thing we want to do is select the type of glass that we're going to use. So I'm going to go to Glass. Oops. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm in the wrong area. I'm sorry. I'm going to cancel out of that. I want to find the area where we can change the type of construction of this. I know we're going to do it. Let's go to, oh, here it is, analytical construction. We're going to make this a double plane, 1/4 inch thick, low E glass. Low E we'll describe in class. That's a nice, robust, good Windows system. If I select it, we should get a U value for it. It looks like we're not. Let's edit it again. Whoops, I didn't mean to go that far. There's a U value here somewhere. U value, 0.35. So it's not a great performing window. We could buy them at Home Depot. They say they perform at 3. So anyway, so that gives you an idea. We're set up with a window. Let's look at making a wall construction. So we have a generic wall. We're going to duplicate it and call it the M2 wall. Go ahead and edit that. Actually, I'm gonna before we do that, I'm gonna go OK and OK, because now I've defined that first wall. But what I want to do is I want to grab all of these walls, select all instances, visible in view. That's 3 of them because we've already changed the front one, and I want to make sure we change them all to the M2 wall, just so I don't forget to do that. And now let's go ahead and select one of those walls again and go to Edit Type. And we're going to go, this is where we're going to add insulating values. So we're going to go to Structure, and we're going to start adding materials in here. I'll cut this video off right now, and we'll come back to it. So it gives a little bit of break. So if anybody needs to catch up, we don't go too far along in the video. So I'll stop here and pick up in a second.